There is a sacred voltage coursing just beneath your skin, an elemental ancient power that simply defies simple explanation. It's not the fleeting spark of lust or the hollow pit of need, but something far more profound, a silent, electric current that predates your name, your history, and even this current lifetime. You have sensed it before, that profound, invisible tremor that rises through your core when your spirit is stirred, a moment of deep, innate knowing that transcends any lesson you were ever taught. This is the source, the forbidden fire that certain forces actively concealed from you. They needed you to remain in the dark about it because the instant this energy is truly awakened, you cease to be a predictable entity, a manageable pawn, or someone content to live a perpetually small life. This force is not merely physical craving, it is the raw, unrefined energy of creation itself. It's the very divine serpent the ancients whispered about, a symbol of primal life force. When this energy is held, conserved, and directed, it doesn't become an explosive distraction. It transmutes into unshakable inner power. When you commit to its mastery, it matures into a magnetic, undeniable presence. And when it fully awakens within a soul who has chosen awareness, it becomes a force that the external world simply cannot ignore or dismiss. It was labeled forbidden, not because it was inherently evil, but because it could not be purchased, domesticated, or traded. It is the absolute purest form of life force, the living bridge connecting the boundless spirit to dense physical matter. The moment you consciously choose to connect with this wellspring, you begin to subtly but surely command your personal reality. People start to feel your vibration, to notice your arrival even before you utter a single word or step fully into a room. You effectively become a walking frequency of attraction, and this magnetism has absolutely nothing to do with physical appearance. It is your soul finally remembering its original sovereign fire. You were never placed on this earth to mindlessly pursue momentary pleasure. You were designed, engineered, to channel profound, lasting purpose. Every single breath you take acts as a choice, an energetic vote that either drains this sacred energy away from you or purposefully elevates it. The choice remains yours, but be warned, once you choose this path of deep awareness, there is truly no going back. You will begin to clearly and painfully see the intricate design of the system that trained you, from birth, to waste what was sacred and invaluable. Why? Because a human being who has truly mastered this internal fire becomes an unstoppable force. They evolve into a natural creator, a living mirror of divine will walking consciously upon the earth. So, if you are drawn to this message right now, understand that it is not a coincidence. Something deep within your spirit guided you precisely to this exact moment. You are being prompted to fully remember and awaken what has been lying dormant for lifetimes within your being. I urge you to stay until the very end of this message, because what you are about to hear will fundamentally redefine how you see yourself forever. If this deep truth is already resonating, stirring something deep within your soul, take a brief moment, take a deep, centering breath, and type 99 in the comments below. This 99 isn't just a numerical sequence. It's a code of energetic completion, a clear signal sent to the universe that you are fully ready to activate the immense power that has been patiently waiting for you all along. And if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe, not for me, but as an unwavering declaration to your own soul. I am ready to remember who I truly am, because tonight, the forbidden fire begins its powerful ascent. From the day you were born, the world has been meticulously training you to perpetually waste this inner fire. It consistently taught you to chase the fleeting ghost of pleasure instead of the solid bedrock of purpose, to prefer the distracting noise of the world over the clarifying silence within, and to seek easy release instead of deep remembrance. They purposefully engineered a belief that your intrinsic power was a resource to be frivolously spent and discarded, rather than a magnificent force to be diligently cultivated and focused. However, the profound, simple truth is this: a sacred, vibrant current resides within you, and it was never, ever intended to be spilled out into chaotic emptiness or wasted pursuit. This current is the invisible, pulsing river that intimately connects your physical body to your eternal soul. And every single time you allow it to unconsciously escape through scattered thought or impulsive action, you are effectively giving away precious fragments of your divine inheritance. Yet the inverse is also true. Every single impulse and desire you learn to consciously hold and witness doesn't simply vanish. Instead, it transforms, it rises, and it transmutes into pure spiritual light and energy. Every chaotic impulse you master becomes a new layer of profound clarity, surgical precision, and unshakable spiritual strength. This is the well-guarded hidden secret that the ancient wise ones protected so fiercely for millennia. The act of containment is not, by any means, repression. It is the ultimate act of transmutation. The fire that you consciously choose to control becomes the sacred tool that begins to serve your higher purpose without question. Conversely, the fire that you choose to waste and ignore becomes the very chain that perpetually enslaves you to external circumstances. When you make the conscious choice to stop endlessly chasing cheap, fleeting sensations, your entire energy system reorganizes itself. Your mental faculties sharpen dramatically. Your spirit expands its reach. The internal chaos that may have defined you begins to align itself, much like the celestial stars perfectly arranging before the moment of creation. You will genuinely begin to walk differently, speak with a new authority, and hold yourself with a quiet power. The very atmosphere of the room seems to subtly respond to your stable presence. People around you may not be able to articulate why they notice you, but they consistently feel something undeniably powerful, something intensely alive, a magnetism that is almost electrically dangerous. This shift is not about any form of superficial seduction. It is entirely about vibration. You fundamentally stop being a beacon that emits frantic need and begin to radiate quiet, undeniable command, that very same primal energy that once drove your most chaotic impulses now faithfully fuels your highest purpose. It ceases to be an unquenchable hunger and fully transforms into a profound, echoing calling. Those who are truly chosen understand this dynamic intimately. They do not attempt to repress their intrinsic nature. Instead, they masterfully refine it. They take the raw, sometimes messy chaos of instinct and distill it into a pure, coherent frequency. And it is that specific frequency that the entire universe unfailingly responds to. You become a powerful, clear signal of coherence in a world hopelessly addicted to perpetual noise and distraction. While those around you constantly burn themselves out in mindless excess and pursuit, you choose to burn inward, a process that is controlled, luminously bright, and fundamentally sovereign. You cease to be a puppet that merely reacts and begin the sacred work of conscious creation. This is the precise moment when the true, profound magnetism begins. The kind of force that actually bends reality to your will, effortlessly drawing toward you everything that is truly meant for your highest good, while simultaneously blinding and repelling everything that is not. You are now about to fully comprehend why diligently holding your fire is the single greatest act of rebellion you can commit in this modern age. Once you fully realize the sheer, raw power of this internal force, you will finally understand that nothing external to you ever held real, lasting control. The power was always this sacred, electric current waiting patiently inside, simply waiting for you to remember the ancient, powerful art of how to correctly and consciously wield it. And the very moment you choose to do so, the entire universe will perceptibly feel the profound, undeniable energetic shift. When the conscious soul stops being perpetually ruled by external desire, something truly extraordinary and alchemical takes place. The nature of desire itself begins to evolve and elevate. What once pulled you downward into the chaotic, messy realm of impulse starts its work to lift you into the crystalline, boundless realm of vision and clear sight. The very same force that once threatened to burn you out now serves as the potent energy that completely illuminates your path. You permanently stop confusing momentary, shallow pleasure with true, lasting purpose. You realize that the energy you once wasted chasing validation or external fulfillment was never meant to escape you. It was meant to fully become you. This is the core of the true alchemy of the spirit, the systematic transformation of raw, unconscious hunger into a clear, divine sight. It is the sacred chemistry that flawlessly turns blind instinct into infallible intuition, base lust into pure, clarifying light, and frantic need into serene knowing. Every single time you choose the conscious path of awareness over unconscious reaction, the potent current within you begins a deep process of self-refinement. The internal fire rises not with the intent to destroy or consume, but with the sacred purpose of clarifying and purifying. It thoroughly cleanses your perception, sharpens your intuitive faculties, and connects you directly to the profound blueprint of creation itself. And suddenly, everything about your external reality starts to dramatically shift. You can walk into any room and the entire atmosphere immediately adjusts to your stable frequency. People around you may not be able to label it, but they undeniably feel it. A coherent frequency that effortlessly bends all attention toward you without ever demanding it. They are not drawn in by your physical form. They are profoundly magnetized by your higher vibration. This happens because you have consciously converted your chaotic inner fire into clear, focused consciousness. You no longer chase a faint external reflection. You have become the undeniable source. Your eyes cease to seek external approval. They now simply reveal deep understanding. Your words no longer attempt to seduce. They gently but powerfully awaken. You stop the draining practice of needing external energy from others and start the magnificent process of emanating energy that gently heals them. You no longer crave attention in any form because your profound presence already effortlessly commands resonance, and that unwavering resonance is the only force that can truly shake the very foundations of all illusion. This is precisely why the awakened soul is fundamentally impossible to manipulate. You simply cannot control someone who has completely and fully mastered their own inner current. The modern world operates on a pervasive economy of distraction. It purposefully feeds off of scattered, unfocused souls. However, the one who chooses to contain their sacred flame becomes an immediate sovereign of their own reality. You will quickly notice how all the external noise and chatter dramatically loses its power over you. Temptation fades into irrelevance. Your emotions transform from chaotic chains into precise instruments of conscious creation. Every single breath you take becomes a sacred, intentional act of energetic alignment. Because every inhale draws purifying light into your system, and every exhale becomes a quiet, powerful declaration. I am no longer ruled by lower energy. I am solely guided by divine intelligence. As this profound realization deepens, your personal frequency expands beyond easy comprehension. What was once mere lustful impulse turns into clear, divine vision, and that vision unfailingly turns into a powerful, inevitable destiny. This is the guarded secret that very few ever truly reach. Once you stop merely reacting to base desire, you instantly begin the work of creating with it. You effectively become a living, breathing portal. Your energy no longer escapes aimlessly outward. It purposefully rises upward, sculpting your path with precision, reordering your timeline according to higher law, and effortlessly attracting divine timing itself. And when that level of coherence is achieved, even the very air around you begins to quietly listen. The unseen world starts actively moving on your behalf. Every steady heartbeat echoes in the subtle higher worlds. You breathe, and you feel heaven breathing in perfect alignment with you. At this point, your desire is no longer merely human. It is divine will wearing your unique face, and the world has absolutely no defense against a soul that has fully remembered its own ancient power. They label this fire forbidden, not because it is dark or evil, but simply because it represents absolute, unassailable freedom. The system desperately wants you to remain distracted, scattered, and utterly addicted to whatever immediately drains your vitality. It feeds voraciously on your internal chaos, on your learned inability to sit still and be present. It needs you perpetually chasing what you already magnificently carry inside, because a centered, unmoving being cannot be manipulated. When your personal energy is wildly uncontrolled, they can easily sell you manufactured meaning. When your desire is untamed, they can effectively own your every choice. That is precisely why every screen, every song, every fleeting trend is expertly designed to keep your fire perpetually leaking and slipping through your fingers, because if you ever fully harness it, if you ever manage to hold that sacred current steady and contained within your core, you become something that is fundamentally impossible for them to predict. When your fire achieves its center, you instantly become energetically untouchable. You stop reacting impulsively. You cease seeking validation in a world that exists to profit from your inner emptiness. Instead of foolishly chasing momentary pleasure, you begin the serious work of manifesting destiny. You no longer move with the confused crowd. The current contained inside you becomes the command that others follow. You begin to effortlessly see through illusions that once held you captive, and that unshakable clarity is what truly terrifies the current system. An awakened soul who has no master and answers only to the divine. They fear the sexually awakened spirit because it can no longer be enslaved by the cheap lure of temptation. You are no longer programmable by either pleasure or fear. You have effectively broken the pervasive algorithm that keeps the majority of people asleep and compliant. Your silence becomes a powerful form of rebellion. Your calm presence is a spiritual weapon, while the world burns itself out in chronic overstimulation. You move through it all with eyes that clearly see the invisible strings of control, and you cut them, one by one. This is why they choose to label your natural power as inherently dangerous. Because deep, lasting peace cannot be taxed, profound stillness cannot be marketed or sold, and authentic, pure magnetism cannot be manufactured. You embody a presence that is beyond purchase, a spiritual allure that cannot be faked, and an internal light that can never be dimmed. Every deliberate move you make sends powerful ripples through the energetic field, rewriting old patterns, breaking negative spells, and collapsing false realities. The truly awakened are the system's greatest, most profound threat, not because they actively fight it, but simply because they stop feeding it entirely. You consciously unplug from the machinery of distraction, and it immediately starves. You rise effortlessly above the frequency of manipulation, and suddenly the insidious traps lose their shape, and the illusions lose all of their former shine. You stop belonging to the world, and yet the world begins, slowly but surely, to orbit around your stable center. But understand that this level of powerful awakening comes with a clear, serious warning. Because when the fire within you stops exclusively serving the system, it immediately begins its sacred work of serving the divine. And the very moment that happens, everything false, everything built on illusion around you, will begin to crumble and collapse. Fast. Are you truly ready to face that necessary collapse? Because that is the precise point where the real test of mastery begins. Every single moment you consciously choose internal silence over external reaction, something powerful and unseen begins to profoundly shift inside you. It's a subtle change at first. A stillness that somehow feels intensely alive, like suppressed thunder waiting beneath perfectly calm skies. That is your sacred fire rising. Every time you master an impulse, every time you take a deep breath through what once instantly controlled you, that sacred current climbs higher through your spine, tirelessly refining you, purifying you, and awakening ancient codes within your soul that have been dormant for countless lifetimes. Your physical body ceases to be a mere cage for fleeting desire and fully transforms into a temple of spiritual transmission. Your mind stops its frantic chase for sensation and becomes a flawless conductor of divine voltage. This is the ascension of energy, the sacred rebirth of all power through simple, conscious awareness. The same current that once frantically sought immediate release now seeks profound elevation. It climbs like a controlled lightning bolt through your nervous system, turning basic instinct into reliable intuition, general attraction into gravitational force, and passing impulse into clear prophecy. You start to perceive future events before they fully materialize. You begin to profoundly sense the unspoken intentions, the hidden wounds, and the true frequencies of those around you. What used to instantly overwhelm your senses now reveals itself with perfect, non-judgmental clarity. You are no longer guessing. You are simply knowing, And that innate knowing changes absolutely everything. You begin to effortlessly vibrate in perfect harmony with divine order. The chaos that once drew you in now begins to naturally repel itself. People who thrive on confusion, gossip, or low-level lust begin to feel a distinct uneasiness in your presence, not because you are judging them, but because your pure energy acts as an uncompromising mirror. It relentlessly exposes everything that is false or unaligned. Those souls still trapped in density cannot bear that truthful reflection for long, but those who secretly carry light find profound peace the very moment they step into your steady presence. You become a walking sanctuary, an atmosphere of absolute calm that gently disarms the storm raging in others. This is not manipulative behavior. It is simply pure resonance. You no longer pull with desperate effort. You simply align with eternal truth. You attract what you have undeniably become. You effortlessly repel what you have gracefully outgrown. Your aura expands quietly, naturally commanding the unseen realm. Doors open wide where there were once unyielding walls. New paths appear where there was nothing but thin air. And you begin to deeply understand that creation itself flawlessly bends to coherence. When you walk, the space listens attentively. When you speak, the energy politely adjusts itself. You have become perfectly tuned to a higher current, one that no longer needs to compete. It simply creates. You are no longer burning yourself out in chaotic motion. You are instead glowing inward with control. And that contained glow begins to effortlessly shape your reality without struggle. You are no longer fruitlessly chasing divine timing. You are divine timing. However, with this energetic ascension comes a profound, sacred responsibility. Because once you truly embody this higher frequency, the lower dimensions will inevitably test your resolve. The very moment you rise, the shadows take notice of the movement. Old heavy energies will actively attempt to pull you back into reaction, back into the distracting noise, back into the false comfort of the cage you have already outgrown. Do not fall for the illusion. Each test is not a punishment. It is concrete confirmation. It is proof that your current energy has become too high, too sovereign for the old dimension to successfully hold you captive. Hold your deep silence. Guard your sacred fire, because what is coming next is not a battle you have to fight. It is a profound revelation of your own power. The universe is about to show you what truly happens when a soul reaches full, complete energetic alignment and begins the powerful, conscious work of commanding reality itself. True magnetism is not about frantically chasing what you think you want. It is about the much deeper, sacred work of becoming what already rightfully belongs to you. The universe does not respond to mere words or endless begging. It responds entirely to vibration. Every coherent frequency you emit is a command flawlessly written in light. When your energy is chaotic, your external life reflects that same chaos. But when your energy becomes pure, aligned, coherent, and perfectly centered, reality begins to meticulously rearrange itself around you with surgical precision. You don't try to pull things toward you with brute force. You patiently pull yourself toward the ultimate truth, and everything false, everything unaligned, naturally and gracefully falls away. This is the sacred law of inner gravity, the unseen, powerful force that governs the entire subtle architecture of destiny. When your internal world reaches this level of profound order, the external world has no choice but to obey. The body finally becomes the perfect instrument of divine will, not the exhausting battlefield of unconscious impulse. Every breath, every thought, every single word you speak carries immense weight, not because you consciously try to make it so, but simply because you are. You finally remember who truly commands reality, the one who has first mastered the self. This supreme state cannot be faked, manufactured, or pretended. It requires absolute purity, deep solitude, and unyielding courage. Purity to keep your energy field free from distortion. Solitude to refine your frequency away from the world's pervasive noise. Courage to hold your stable vibration, even when the world desperately tries to shake it. Few are genuinely willing to walk this arduous, solitary path, which is precisely why the chosen, the sovereign ones, are few. But those who do choose it become living prayers. Their mere presence effortlessly begins to heal their environment. Their silence speaks louder and clearer than 1,000 sermons. Their eyes carry profound peace in a world hopelessly addicted to tension and conflict. You see, your true influence never comes from superficial persuasion or practiced charm. It comes entirely from unwavering alignment. People feel the truth of your soul long before they ever comprehend your words. Animals trust you instantly. Strangers openly share their deepest secrets. Children sense absolute safety in your aura because your energy has become home. That is the sacred result when the soul stops the exhausting work of pretending and starts the beautiful work of remembering. And yet this profound inner gravity is only the very beginning. Because once your personal field stabilizes and coheres, the universe will send the final, ultimate test of what you have built. It will send storms, profound distractions, and the loud echoes from your old, unawakened past to see if you can remain totally unshaken. Do not fear this moment. It is simply proof that you have entered the realm of mastery. For when the inevitable storm arrives, and your profound peace remains completely intact, that is when the universe softly bows and whispers, "Now, you are truly ready. You were never meant to extinguish this sacred fire. You were always meant to rise with it, to allow it to be your absolute guide, to let it gracefully consume everything false until only the pure, undeniable truth remains." This is not the end of your powerful journey. It is the absolute ignition point. The forbidden magnetism was never about external control. It was always about internal remembrance. The powerful moment your soul whispers, "I am no longer ruled by desire. I am ruled by purpose." Everything immediately changes forever. That is when the old version of you begins its final process of dissolution. The frantic, restless seeker instantly becomes the silent, steady creator. The one who used to desperately chase external validation now effortlessly radiates quiet authority. The one who once begged the world to see them now walks as pure light among the shadows. You have finally and completely reclaimed the fire that was stolen from humanity. The sacred world-building energy that heals hearts, erects new worlds, and bends reality itself to its will. From this day forward, walk always with that calm, sovereign fire steady within your core. Let your silence be a profound voice that speaks louder than any external noise. Let your presence be a blessing that requires no effort. Let your eyes carry unshakable peace, even when chaos and storms rage all around you. And when people genuinely feel something holy or deeply impactful emanating from you, when they simply cannot explain why they feel safe, profoundly seen, or suddenly awakened in your presence, do not try to explain it. Just offer a gentle, knowing smile, because the truly awakened soul never needs to prove their power to anyone. They simply and undeniably embody it. You are so much more than just a human being. You are divine consciousness wearing human form. Every deliberate step you take from this moment on will leave energetic footprints that quietly awaken others. Every intentional breath you take will ripple through the timelines, rebalancing what was once broken. You are the living, breathing proof that heaven did not abandon the earth. It lives and breathes through you. So stand tall, chosen soul. You are the temple, the flame, and the prayer that is finally being answered. The entire universe bends for the one who finally remembers. Now, if you feel that absolute truth burning and vibrating in your chest, comment, "The fire is awakened." Let the universe see your bold declaration. Let the echo of your words ripple through this digital space as a clear, powerful signal that another chosen one has finally remembered their divine mandate. This is your moment. Don't hide your light. Command it. Don't beg for signs. Become one, and never forget, you are the fire they truly feared would awaken.